And joining us right now on the Rothman Orthopedics guest line, a man taking time out of what will be a very busy week as he heads out to Arizona for the Super Bowl. Former Eagles linebacker, the great G Cobb, Garry Cobb, joins us. What's going on there, G?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Now, I give you so much credit, and I know we've talked about this when you've joined the show before, but you were so ahead of pretty much everybody else's time when it came to the digital world with gcobb.com, and now you continue that as you got your Garry Cobb, your G Cobb YouTube channel as well, and you're just going to be pumping that full of content while you're out there in Arizona, are you not?
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing I'm going to be out there doing is really, we throw these big parties. Really, it's the NFL. They throw these big parties, and I'm one of the hosts, and it's really for former players so guys can come in and talk. And a lot of it is for be able to talk to guys, make sure everybody's all right. If we could do anything to help any guys, that sort of thing. And really it's kind of get a chance to and for players to talk to each other, a lot of times, it's therapeutic because if a guy's dealing with a challenging situation, he's going to talk to his buddies and everything. And so we're going to be throwing some big parties out there, and it's going to be a lot of fun because, then I'm going to be doing some work for Fox as well. Of course, I'm the analyst for the Fox, the pregame show we're going to be doing and doing work for Fox. So I'll be out there doing all of that, and it'll be a good time.
Just hustling, always hustling. Now, that's so great. And what people really have to understand is how much of a brotherhood it really is of all you guys that played together in the NFL, whether you're on the same team or not. Especially after you retire, guys are just there for one another. It really is an incredible thing to watch as someone who grew up as just a fan of the sport and then got to cover the sport and watch you guys. You guys all show up to each other's events. You guys all go out there to the Super Bowl, and you guys have each other's backs. It really is an incredible thing. And the NFL also has you doing some work with some of the younger guys coming into the league from time to time, do they not?
Well, that's right. I work with young guys. In fact, we help guys as they they have go through a transition out of the game when they get released. Young guys, help them, get jobs, help them kind of put their life back together because it's traumatic when a guy's put all his life into making it to the NFL. He makes it, and 2-3 years they tell him it's over. It's it's a challenge, and so we work with them to you've got abilities, we can utilize in these other areas, and the NFL has partners that we work with, different companies that help these guys by supplying different jobs and giving them an opportunity. And so what we do is we encourage them, say, hey, your life's not over. You might be a coach, or if you're not going to do that, you could get involved in media. There are other opportunities with other different businesses. So the big thing we do is, it's like a big brother. You're helping the guy and help him get back on his feet and encourage him to go ahead and keep putting the same effort into something else that he was putting into football. And it's great to see the guys, really just start feeling good about themselves again. And then they really start achieving. And so that's all. And, and I'm what's called a Legends coordinator. So in the East Coast, really, I work with guys, making sure everybody's good, and helping guys. If they got a challenge, there are different things that we have to try to help guys. So it's gets involved, and you really get to know a lot of the guys. And of course, I enjoy it because these are my brothers. Hey,
some of them older brothers, some of them younger brothers, but brothers nonetheless, of course.
That's right. And getting where more and more of them are younger brothers.
I'm sure. I do want to ask, we have this special Eagles season that we just witnessed as far as the regular season, 2 playoff wins, now the Super Bowl right here. But I have to ask you, just in terms of the regular season itself, and I've asked a lot of people this question, and I'm curious to get your take on it. I think during the 2017 season, it was fairly obvious as to when it was going to be a special year, and that was the Jake Elliott field goal against the Giants. Was there a moment, or was there something in particular that jumped out to you with this Eagles season that made you think, oh, wow, this could be a special year?
Well, it's been a maturation of Jalen Hurts. I mean, in seeing the way he was advancing and knowing that Howie had made a lot of good moves to improve the team, and to see Jalen, growing as a quarterback, to where he's reading defenses, he's getting the ball out of his hands, then he's hurting people with his legs. To see the way he's grown into the position, that really is the reason that they're, here, because, I mean, there are other areas too. The big thing about this team, which is the reason that I know that Kansas City and Andy Reid and those guys not getting a lot of sleep, is they can beat you in so many ways. This team can beat you with you could say the secondary. Secondary can beat you because with big plays and the way they can be dominating, we've seen the defensive line, how they can take over a game and beat you. Same thing with the Eagles' offensive line or with their weapons. So you've got all these different ways in which the Eagles can beat you. And that's why, playing against them is really a challenge. And I know that, the coaches and Andy's coaches, they are working hard and they're not getting a lot of sleep, because you look at some of those tapes, I'm going, man, the way you've got Miles Sanders running into the end zone without being touched against the Niners, you weren't supposed to be able to run the ball against, he's going into the end zone and not even been touched.
Not only not being touched, he's going in there, he's doing a little waddle dance, and then Jason Kelsey follows him, and he does a little waddle dance, and then they're untouched to just celebrate the fact they just ran through the best run defense in all of football.
And you can see where the Niners were like, you talk about, they're getting the quarterback knocked out and all that, and that was, definitely discouraging. But having them run the ball on them like that, believe me, I didn't play when they were supposed to be such a great defense. I mean, I never had that happen. I mean, somebody's running the ball, guys are going in the end zone untouched. I'll tell you, it broke them down. And I tell you, Kansas City, you look at that tape, you're not getting any sleep.
So let me ask you this then, down that line. Okay, so we'll talk about Spags, talk about defense. As a former defensive player and someone who breaks down this game in such a great way for Fox, obviously, when you look at this Eagles offense, yes, they could certainly beat you in a lot of ways, and it's a pick your poison type of thing. What poison are you picking? What are you concentrating on? What are you doing in order to stop one of the best offenses in the entire NFL all season long, led by an MVP candidate like Jalen Hurts? What are you doing first and foremost, try to stop that offense?
Well, you're going to move people into the box, because they're counting the people in the box. And if you don't have a certain number of people on either side, they're automaticing to that side. So you really got to take some chances. And so you're going to move people up, and you've got to give your linebackers the authority to make changes just before the play. And it didn't look like San Francisco gave their guys that type of freedom. But, you see the Eagles, they make an audible. You got to make an audible, because you got to move people up in order to take away the run. And the Eagles went to the running game. They did not throw the ball well. Now, I will tell you this, that, Jalen needs to throw the ball better. Against Kansas City, chances are they're going to score more than San Francisco did. So, and really, I will tell you this. As a kid growing up, looking at TV and looking at shows, whether it's a little movie or whatever it is, you got the good guy against the bad guy. You always know, despite the fact that the bad guy's winning for most of the show, the good guy's going to win. I want the Eagles to watch out for this.
Okay.
Do not let this game be close.
Ooh.
Because Mahomes, if you give him an opportunity, you ask him for trouble. For him to pull a game out, the guy's got a great arm. He can throw the ball. I've seen him throw the ball with his left hand. I mean, come on. He can throw from all these different angles. I mean, he's like a magician with the ball. He is the one guy. He is the X factor. That is the one main area where the Chiefs have an advantage, which is at the quarterback position. He is the best quarterback in the NFL. He can get it done. Do not let him be the hero at the end of the game. The Eagles cannot let this game be close. They need to jump over. They need to take advantage of this game. They need to build a big lead where everybody's having fun during the second half, laughing and everything, because the game has been decided. If it goes down to the wire, I don't even want to see the end if Mahomes has got that ball.
All right. Well, so is it the type of thing where you want the Eagles to take the ball first? If the Chiefs win the toss and defer to the Eagles, is that a good thing for the Eagles? And if the Eagles win the toss, should they take the ball first?
I would want them to take the ball first. I think they have an advantage. I think they can move the ball against the Chiefs defense. I think they go out there and grab a lead. I would like to see them see that happen. I think that's an advantage for them because, they really, as long as, like I said, Jalen needs to be on the money with his throwing. And I know he missed some games, and I think they just got out of sync with regards to that passing game. But they need the passing game because Kansas City, with Mahomes, they're capable of scoring. They're going to score more than San Francisco did. So they need to have that passing game. They need a passing game. They're going to have a running game. They can run the ball against the Chiefs. So I feel confident about that. The whole thing is, how good is their passing game going to be? And so want to see them in sync. Jalen putting that ball on the money. He's got to put some more air up under those deep throws. AJ has been open a couple times. Put that ball up there where he can run under it. Because if they get the passing game going and the running game, that's where they and really it's fitting that they would finish up their season with a complete game performance. And the offensive line is going to be pounding with the running game. I don't see any way that Kansas City is going to be able to stop that. They're going to have to pick their poison. But if the Eagles can connect on some big plays, then that's quick scores. Mm-hmm. And that's what's going to put them in a great position. The other thing is you don't want to give Mahomes too many times where you're letting him, you want ball possession. You would love to have some grinding drives. Leave him over there. Tell Mr. Mahomes, grab a seat over here on the bench. You're going to be over here for a while.
Okay.
That's what we want to be able to do because you don't want to give them the ball so many times. And when you get opportunities to get off the field, they got to get off the field. So, but this is going to be an outstanding game. But as I said, Mr. Mahomes, notice I call him Mr. That's probably what they need to call. We don't want to see where he's getting the ball with the Eagles. I mean, the Chiefs are down 6. It's 2 minutes to go, and he's getting the ball. No, we don't want that. We don't want that drama. We do not want that. Mm-hmm. And we want the Eagles in a comfortable lead by up a couple touchdowns or maybe 3 touchdowns where they're sitting and we're popping popcorn. People are, getting distracted at home and things like that. That's the kind of game we want.
I think we'll be popping more than popcorn if the Eagles are up by 3 touchdowns, especially late in this game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So when you see, as someone who played here, when you see the celebrations on Broad Street, like just making it the NFC champion, winning the NFC championship game, making it to the Super Bowl, when you see stuff like that, what's the first thing that jumps to mind?
Well, I guess, all the time that people had to wait. I mean, all the time, people were waiting for a Super Bowl. And when they finally got here, it really shocked a lot of people because it just came up, boom, and all of a sudden, they beating the Patriots, mm-hmm. And I was out on the field after that game and Brandon Graham was out there and Brandon and his wife and his little girl. And he's got the little girl. And I said, now, young lady, you don't know me. But I'm telling you, the play your dad made, your dad's going to be an old man and people are still going to be coming up to you going, your dad made a play back again in the Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. I said, they're never going to forget that play. And so it was fun being out there with his little daughter and his wife and Brandon and telling them that nobody's ever going to forget. The Philadelphia fans are going to forever remember the play he made, strip sack of Tom Brady in that game to help the Eagles win their first Super Bowl.
Gee, when Tom Brady retired and he said during his retirement video, no regrets. I thought to myself, maybe just one. Maybe just get rid of that ball a little faster before Brandon Graham came storming back there to get you.
It was so close. And the thing is, it was timing, because he was going – he was putting the ball in one hand and Brandon swiped right at the exact same right time. And that ball was on the ground. And that was the key. That was the play of that game because despite the way that the Eagles played offensively, that they were able to go and score so many points and everything. Brady was putting on a show himself.
Oh yeah. Lighten it up.
And
lighten it up with no Brady.
They were on the verge of, winning that game. So that was a huge play.
Real quick, I want you to answer this question as quickly as you can. The Eagles, if they lose this game, let's focus on the negative first. If they lose this game, it will be because of what, most likely?
It'll be because of their passing game not getting in sync.
Oof. Okay. All right. So that's no bueno. If they win this game, it'll be because of what?
It'll be because they got everything going, and defensively, they kept Mahomes in the pocket. They didn't really let him get loose where he's out there using his creative abilities. So that they kept him under control in the pocket. That's the way they'll win the game. And offensively, they really use their passing game and their running game. They got both of them going, and they made it a rout.
All right. And then finally, what are you expecting? Now, at the time we tape this interview, it's Sunday night leading into Super Bowl week. So I'll just give that timeline for when you make your early prediction here going into it. What are you expecting? How are you expecting this game to play out between the Eagles and Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
Well, I think it's going to start out where you're going to have some scoring early. And I think the Eagles are going to, probably in the third quarter, second and third quarter, that's where they're going to make a difference. I think they're going to take over the game with the fact that they can run the ball and throw the ball against the Chiefs. And they're going to end up really getting after them, putting some points on the board, and they're going to get a couple turnovers, and I think that'll be the difference.
Oh, I love it, G. We'll be popping that popcorn and champagne, my friend.
But if we're not sure in the fourth quarter, I might get up and leave. That dog on Mahomes. But we don't want any drama in the fourth quarter.
No, I want it to be a laugher. I want Patrick Mahomes to retire by the fourth. No, all right, that's enough. But no, in all seriousness, G Cobb, nobody breaks it down like you, my friend. Appreciate you joining the show. Safe travels out there. Have yourself a great time, and good for you. Also make sure you guys subscribe. Check out the Garry Cobb YouTube channel as well for all the content I'll be putting up there. And just for being a great guy, and I mean this because I've known you for a long time. What you do for retired NFL players, also players coming into the league, players that are out of the league too soon. You're just a great guy, man, and I appreciate all you do for those people. So thank you for that.
All right, my pleasure. Hey, and go Birds!
Go Birds, baby. G Cobb joining us here on the Rothman Orthopedics guest line.